Hello everyone, this is Pastor Felicia here giving y'all a sneak preview for our Sunday service. If you recall, last Sunday we talked about the rhythms of life. We started talking about life changes, and we used the passage from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verses 1 through 8, where it talks about all the seasons, a time to live, a time to die, a time to gather stones, I try to throw them away. So we're done with that part. And this coming Sunday, we're actually going to be looking at a different passage, still on the theme of the rhythms of life, but we are jumping from the Old Testament and we're going straight through the New Testament, specifically the letters, the epistles. And we're going to be focusing on the first letter of John, chapter 3, verses 16 to 18. To give you a little bit of a context here for this letter, John is writing to a group of believers. And this group of believers can also be folks like us. It doesn't necessarily have to be people from back in those days. Could be people for, we can speak in the modern context that we are right now. And an important thing about this community is that they were already believers in Christ. They already did their profession of faith. They already claimed that Jesus is Lord. However, they were having some issues about whether Jesus was fully, truly human. We know they believe as Christians that Jesus was fully divine and fully human. But these folks over there were having a little bit of a hard time believing that Jesus was actually a human being. As one of the themes that John talks about. The other theme that John speaks to the community is about putting your faith in practice. And this is where our theme is going to be focusing on. Part of what makes a community feel rejuvenated, feel encouraged is the way that we live out our faith. So a community that's pretty much dead is a community that no longer can be revitalized and can no longer live. So what we're going to be talking about is how we then as a community can still live out our faith by practicing God's love. And one area that we're going to be focusing on is on the part of giving. I know that giving is such a broad term. There's many ways that you can give. You can give your talents. You can give out your time. You can also resources or whatever it is that you need to do in order to help others in our community. But we're going to be looking at it in the context of John. That, like I said, first epistle of John, or first letter of John, chapter 3, verses 16 to 18 then. So our theme is going to be on giving. Like I said, please stay tuned, and we'll certainly appreciate if folks can invite other family or friends to come to our service at 10 a.m. at North Hills Community Baptist Church, or you can also watch us online at 10 a.m. Stay tuned because the hours will change, but for now it is 10 a.m. here at NACBC. So we hope to see you, and God bless.